Right on the dot, and we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 11 of the making of the camping episode for BrickBob Films, continuing and hopefully concluding our sculpting work on the sea rhinoceros today. As we can show you right here, we've got the body of the sea bear complete. We are going to complete sculpting the sea rhinoceros today, and that's pretty much the agenda today. So I think that what we're going to do for this stream is we are going to... Yo, welcome everyone. Got some new faces already. Permission to come aboard, permission granted. So what I think we're going to do today is we're going to finish the sea rhinoceros. I'm going to take him downstairs to start baking, maybe. I don't know if the kitchen will be in use. And we might even be able to start painting the sea bear, because this sea bear should be ready to paint. And looking at it so far, it does not appear to have cracked, which is really good. But yeah, the sea rhinoceros needs to be finished. Sea rhinoceros is looking pretty sick, by the way. I am going to be peeling him off and putting him on this Pyrex right here. So actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do it now. Wait, hold on a second. First, we have to do the initiation first. So that's pretty much what the game plan is for today. It's like everyone's here, everyone's pulling up. Anyway, we're just going to jump right into it. I have been itching to finish this sea rhinoceros since our last stream. This has been a community effort, so I couldn't even touch it without you guys on stream. So anyway, with all that being said, this is BrickBob Films, the camping episode, day 11. I've been looking forward to this all day, so I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull off the sea rhinoceros very carefully. I'm going to give you guys a peek at it. And then he's going to go onto this baking pan, and we're going to finish sculpting him. This has to come off. So bear with me. Give it up for day 11. But we made, I think we've been working on, we spent about like what, 4 hours? I think 3.5 to 4 hours working on the sea rhinoceros yesterday. 4 hours? Something like that. I'm going to start the work clock. And we made amazing progress. This is really good progress. It also helps the fact that we don't, like, hold on a second. It helps the fact that this is like a 2.5D piece as well. Yo, we got some new faces here. What's up, everyone? Welcome. Thanks for pulling up. Somebody in the stream mentioned Ratfink. For those of you who don't know, Ratfink is like an art style or an art series or something. They said that the sea rhinoceros reminded them of Ratfink, and I looked him up, and yeah, I definitely see it. So put him in here. It's perfect size. So I think what I'm going to be doing with the sea bear and the sea rhinoceros is I want these to be available for purchase after the film is finished. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably get like some wooden boards at the craft store and mount the sea bear and mount the sea rhinoceros onto it using some screws. I should be able to drill into the back of these sculptures. I wouldn't. I mean, you could do it with glue, but I like. I don't. I don't trust adhesives like alone. Like I want there to be some more concrete structural thing. Yo, what's up, everyone? Thank you guys so much for joining. Make sure that you guys drop a like. Let's crush that algorithm. Oh, and another thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys is only a few streams ago, we were celebrating 16,000 subscribers. 16. And already we're almost a quarter of the way to 17. So thank you guys so much for hitting the like button, for sharing the streams. Everyone from BrickBob Films who's new, who's still coming in, thank you guys so much for joining in. It's been really exciting, and I am itching to get back to doing some filming, but I'm also just enjoying working on these beasts so much, and I hope that you guys have been enjoying it too. But just wanted to say that you guys are making it possible. So let's get right into it. And we have filmed most of the runtime for the camping episode, like the Lego animation. I stopped right as we were getting to the sea bear because I knew that I wanted to have a concrete plan for how these animals would look. You know? Because if you're going to do like editing of any kind in stop motion, you want to make sure that you prepare a little bit, like to have a game plan, because otherwise you can run into extremely annoying problems in post. I'm just gonna smooth out the clay on the back of his head. Ugh. These ears are going to be a bit fragile. I don't think putting wire in the ears is going to help very much. I remember the first time I made stuff with resin, and it was like, it was just like you could throw that thing off of a rooftop and it would be fine, you know? How many head molds of the sea bear will there be? So I don't know yet, but fortunately, since the sea bear, like, the sea bear will have mouth animations because he growls and he roars. But because he doesn't talk and say words, that means that I don't have to make all these different consonants, like all these mouth shapes, these elaborate mouth shapes for talking. So I would guess less than maybe 6, less than 9, definitely. And the sea rhinoceros obviously has none because he's on screen for like a few seconds. Yeah, quarter to 17,000. So I've been looking at the analytics, and we do have a bit of a sub-train going, which is so wonderful. Shout out to all of you. I love you guys. Also, another thing was... Wait, hold on a second. How much does a sea bear see if a sea bear could bear see? What? 17. But so I thought about this just as I was sitting down here at the desk. Looks really good. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming by. I don't think we've seen you here before. So what I was thinking was I mentioned like I think we talked one time about like having some kind of like a stream goal or something like that, or like a funding goal. And working at this desk, I put this desk in my room recently because I put this in storage for a bit. I was thinking like, as you guys know, I've been spoiled by the motorized desk, which I film the animations on. I love that desk so much. And I feel like, especially like as these streams are becoming more regular, I think that saving up a fund to get a new motorized desk would be really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna initiate it yet. I would want to make like a formal like announcement for it. Also, they're expensive, but it's just something I was thinking about. Because let me tell you, once you use a good motorized desk, you like you're like, this is how every table should be, you know? I'm a big believer in like having an ergonomically appropriate setup. And also like having a motorized desk, now you have the option to like stand up and work if you want. All right. Yeah, you guys are recurring guest stars. I think I might have wire for the bighorns, though. So my cinematographer, he gave me like a because he used to do stop motion. He gave me like this awesome goodie bag of armature wire and stop motion materials that he was using when he was making his stop motion films. And I'm still like sorting through them, but it's been really helpful. And I think I'm going to use some of his wire right now. Shout out to my boy Johnny. Yeah, awesome, awesome guy. I think I'll do these horns one at a time. Dude, this is gonna look so sick when he's painted. And I like that the sea bear isn't just brown, like I like that he has green on him. Yo, welcome to the stream. One of the nice things about working with Super Sculpey Firm is even though this is soft clay, it's like, as you can see, he looks like a wet fish. It's holding its form pretty well. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm digging this like theme of like of making these more intricate handmade sculptures for my animation projects, like we did with Popeye. And then someday when I'm a famous filmmaker, people are gonna be like, "Oh, we have to get our hands on these." And all you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, I was you guys are talking about him now. I was there in the beginning. I was there at ground zero when he was making these things in his bedroom, you know?" But with what's going on in modern animation, making projects in your bedroom like forever doesn't sound too bad. Did you guys hear about like what happened with Pixar? There was like a huge amount of layoffs or something. Over 100 people got laid off. It's a damn shame. You think you'll be that famous? Let a boy dream. How many episodes and live streams has everyone been on so far? Yeah, I'd be curious to know. Let me know if this is your first stream or if you've been here before. We do get people showing up though, being like, "Oh, this is my first stream. Just wanted to say hi." Shout out to everyone. Yeah, we had animateclay.com in here, I think in our last stream. This is our third stream for the week, and I'm losing track. Like this is our third stream this week, and like the days just fly by. It all just feels like one long work session to me. Yeah, this wire will provide just a little supplemental foundation for these horns. How many of you guys have seen Toy Story 5? Because the layoffs are happening right now, but Toy Story 5 just came out. It's making a lot of money. People are talking about it. I am not like in the loop though. I hear it's good though. You wish we had a real Clay Fighter game? I'm right there with you, man. There have been attempts. Like that's the thing, like Clay Fighters, it's got such like a niche devoted fan base, of which I am a part of. Like But whenever the community tries to do something to keep Clay Fighter alive, Interplay, I think, tends to shut it down. I have no idea like what the the situation is with Interplay. Like if they still are in business, if they're still making games. To my knowledge, they're still in business, but I don't know how. Like they're a pretty old company. Is Interplay still around? Yeah, they have a website, I think. I haven't checked it recently, but I checked it a few months ago. Yeah, it's still there. You've barely seen any Disney or Pixar. Old stuff is great. New stuff, not so much. Oh, and the live action Moana flopped. It's like refreshing to see that like you have that small but vocal minority of movie people who talk about movies on YouTube saying like, "Oh, we don't want these these Disney live action remakes," but oh my God, 2019, they're making billions of dollars. But now like people are saying, don't watch the new Moana. We don't want this. We don't want this, and audience members are voting with their wallets. UFO 50. Nah, I don't think so. Like the Pengu avatar. Do they still make new Pengu cartoons? I feel like maybe they don't, but there's like a YouTube channel. Pengu's pretty epic. That's a great little stop motion series. I don't know if we've ever talked about Pengu at length on stream before. Thanks for stopping in. Have fun filming. Oh, we have to have the horns on top. Pengu go skiing. Live action Jimmy Neutron and Rugrats movie? Yo, welcome to the stream. Did Okay, so here's the thing. I never watched Jimmy Neutron growing up. The only thing Jimmy Neutron that I saw growing up was I remember the first VHS tape that I ever had of SpongeBob. It was the one that had the sponge who could fly. The first that VHS tape had like a commercial for or a preview or something for the Jimmy Neutron show. I don't think it was the movie. And I do remember seeing like posters of the movie, but I've never seen anything Jimmy Neutron. I remember thinking like, ooh, the animation looks pretty rough. but I've heard really good things about Jimmy Neutron. There was this kid in my neighborhood who, when I was young, he was way older than me, but he said that he was building like a Jimmy Neutron lab in his bedroom or something. I never saw the show, so I didn't know what that really entailed. And I I would every time, every day I would see him, I would ask him, "Yo, how's your Jimmy Neutron lab coming?" And he would be like, "Oh, it's not done yet, not done yet." And I was like, eventually knew, I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna finish it. Well, it's perfect. I can use more of this wire. I was wondering what to do with this wire. Put it on the top. You like Clay Kremling? Yeah, I've seen you in stream before. Yeah, I we haven't reached the point where I'm going to be putting up like doing live reactions to Clay Kremling episodes in stream. It'll happen someday, but I don't know about today. That's the thing. It's like I tend to get a flow when I'm working on my creative projects, and I usually like to just keep going until I'm out of steam, and then once I stop, I'm like, all right, that's it. I don't normally take like breaks. Pokemon Concierge? Is that a newer show? I think I saw a tiny bit of it. It was a very like mellow show. I didn't watch all of it. Saw like an episode. There was a scene where like a Psyduck is like hiding in the bushes, and the girl's trying to find the Psyduck. Yeah, when working on Popeye, I explicitly like didn't give him a pipe because I didn't want to like have to deal with having a big fragile thing sticking out of him because I'm gonna have to ship him someday. And now for the sea rhinoceros, I have to put spikes on him. I don't want these to protrude too much into him. Yeah, don't worry, we'll be here. Not going anywhere. I'm stuck. Trapped. So the sea rhinoceros has got these like plates on him. And I have some foil here, so we're gonna give it that like that rock, gravelly, rough texture. The did I say sea bear, sea rhinoceros, whatever? The sea rhinoceros is gonna look very metal. This is gonna be a sick piece. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Favorite character in Last Airbender? I would. So here's the thing. I need to rewatch Last Airbender because the first time that I saw it was during COVID, but I want to give it a rewatch because the like new movie coming out, game coming out, gonna see how it is. But I definitely want to rewatch the show because I remember thinking like it's a really good piece of it's a really good children's cartoon. Solid story, solid characters. Only 3 seasons. Then there was a god awful movie. I didn't see the movie. But yeah, that was like a show that I just missed as a kid because I didn't have TV. I just had VHS tapes and my mom my mom just didn't get it for me, you know. She didn't know about it. Not her fault. But I remember liking Toph. Back then I loved FNAF. Wait, did I don't think I ever said I loved FNAF. When Five Nights at Freddy's came out, like I was interested in it because that was like a viral horror game, and I bought the first two for my phone. But then, like once the fandom started getting like really weird, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll watch Markiplier play the games, but other than that, I'm gonna keep my distance. Five Nights at Frick Boys? You may be censoring. Are you talking about the RPG, the one that Markiplier played while drinking that like that alcoholic beverage? Is that what you're talking about? Because I remember I would watch Markiplier play the fan games too, and we'll call it Five Nights at Frick Boys. I remember him playing that and just finding like the premise of it so funny that someone took the original Five Nights at Freddy's and just turned it into like an RPG, and you have all of the animatronics, like they have the goofy text to speech voice. Are we talking about the same thing? Really? The voice actress for Toph is actually blind? Or legally blind? Really? The but no, what I was talking about for the Markiplier Let's Play, it was called Five Nights at Fuckboys. Pardon my French. And it's like someone just took Five Nights at Freddy's and turned it into an RPG, and it's very, very, very crude. But like, there's like a scene where there's a part in the game where the you have to go into the women's bathroom, but you need to get like Chica to do it because Freddy refuses to go into the women's bathroom. And there's a scene where you just see like the picture of Freddy's face, and he says with like his soulless robot voice, he says, "I cannot go into the women's bathroom. This would forsake my masculinity." And I thought that was the funniest thing ever. Yeah, super excited to talk about the new Avatar movie. Animation just looks so beautiful in it from what I've seen like so far. Oh, so guys, last night I watched an animated movie that I've never seen before, but also like no one really seems to talk about it. Have any of you guys heard about Cats Don't Dance from 1997, if I'm not mistaken? You love Cats Don't Dance? It was a cute movie. It's got great, very, very lively, very energetic, cartoony animation, but oh my god. The villain just stole the show in that movie. She was the Darla Dimple. She was the reason that I watched it. I was like, I gotta see like, what you can do with a villain like this. I just love seeing I love seeing a villain where it's like, yeah, this person's bad. Like, before the trend of like, oh, we have to make villains bad but also good. Like, it's like Big Jack Horner in the new Puss in Boots movie. It's like this guy's just terrible. Like, let him be terrible, let him be fun. Like, just have a bad guy, for God's sakes. Like in it's like why didn't they just do the same thing for Emperor Zurg in Lightyear? You have this goofy Darth Vader parody I am your father, evil space tyrant toy. Like, just make him into a goofy, fun space villain. But no, they had to ruin it in Lightyear. Yeah, I was Cats Don't Dance. It bombed at the box office despite getting good reviews. So I was looking it up, and I guess there was like some kind of a big merger that occurred before it released, and as a result, the new company or the new leadership didn't think it Cats Don't Dance. Apparently, Cats also don't make good box office investments, so they decided to cut the funding for the marketing, and then it didn't get marketing, and no one saw it. Yeah, in the late 90s and early 2000s, there were a lot of like ambitious 2D animated movies that were just kind of coming out at the wrong times because the market was changing. But then when you go and look back and you see like a lot went into these movies, like Road to El Dorado, Sinbad, Treasure Planet, trying to think what else. What other bombs there were? Atlantis by Disney, Spirit. Like you had all these like very well made, ambitious animated ideas that did get made into movies, but they couldn't they couldn't and didn't find a market. But yeah, the new Avatar looks great. I'm gonna be following along with the fighting game that's coming out, which has the animation style that like fits the games. Like it looks like it came straight out of the games. I just hope the gameplay is fun and that it can find a player base. I'm admittedly not optimistic that it will, but even if the gameplay is fun, maybe I'll pick it up. I don't think I would ever pre-order a game again. Someone in the stream yesterday mentioned We're Back, a dinosaur story. After watching Cats Don't Dance, I threw on We're Back. That was a fun animated movie from my childhood. Actually, both those movies were like really short. They're like an hour and 10 minutes. It's a FNAF clone, but better. Okay, so do any of you guys know what was it? One Night at Flumpty's? That was something that I saw Markiplier play as a kid. I remember it had like, especially One Night at Flumpty's 2, like it had a really cool visual art style. Like it had all these weird, bizarre, cutesy but kind of nightmarish like characters. in One Night at Flumpty's 2. Like I remember looking at that game, like watching Markiplier play it and being like, wow, this game like looks like very well made compared to other Five Nights at Freddy's clones that existed at the time. I remember there's one where it was like what Five Nights at Wario's or something, and you had like like a creepy Luigi, creepy Mario, and it just kind of looked like a troll game. Can I do Neptune Spatula? I I feel like I probably won't. I'm not ruling out that I would never do Neptune Spatula. It's just like an episode I don't find myself wanting to revisit Neptune Spatula. I think if I were to make Neptune Spatula, I would have King Neptune be like a claymation character. I was talking about this recently. Like in Sponge on the Run, you had that merman guy. I don't even remember what his name was. He looked like a Wallace and Gromit character. If I were to do Neptune Spatula, I would specifically do it for making like a Wallace and Gromit style claymation character. And in that sense, like if I was really itching to do that, Neptune Spatula could be a lot of fun. It could be like a really good vehicle for doing that, you know? Now that like I'm more regularly blending in my other stop motion art styles with BrickBob films, it's gotten me thinking kind of like my approach to making BrickBob film episodes and selecting them. I think which episode can I do the most with? Can I elevate it either visually or dramatically? How can I lend my more niche area of expertise to this film, you know? I feel like the sea rhinoceros, even though rhinoceros are supposed to be gray, I feel like this guy's going to be purple, a few other colors, but I'm going to have to take a look at what colors I have in my closet because I need to run to the art store anyway. You know, the teeth are going to take work though. Oh, I'm going to have to play dentist. So these plates along the sea rhinoceros, I'm going to take this foil, just give it some texture. It's going to look awesome. Oh, and you know what? Maybe I'll give some texture to like the skin underneath. Like I could give him like an elephant skin texture, or if I don't give him a texture at all for the skin and it's smooth looking, it would look fine anyway. It would look like a dolphin, you know? How they have like that rubbery skin. Either way works. What's with the fandoms these days? Yeah, sorry. I don't know why whenever I sit down to stream, my nose just tickles always. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's in the air. All right, let's just test this out. Shoot, we got sidetracked. You asked me what my favorite Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic was. I don't know what it is now, but I remember I thought Mangle was pretty cool when Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out. But then you have like fan favorites like the marionette. That one's really popular. I get that it has like significance within the FNAF lore. Even so, I'm quite skeptical of FNAF lore because those Five Nights at Freddy's videos, like they were a major career jump for MatPat. And not even just MatPat, but like anyone that was making Five Nights at Freddy's content, that was like how they got their start online, you know? God, it feels so long ago. Do I think SpongeBob's autistic? I'm gonna be honest, I really don't care either way, but didn't I think the creator Stephen Hillenburg addressed that very thing. I didn't the creator of SpongeBob say that SpongeBob was like autistic? I think he did. Angle's a little bit tough. Willy's Wonderland with Nicolas Cage. So my cousin, he's 8 years younger than me, and when he was a kid, so like by the time Five Nights at Freddy's came out, I was already like about a teenager. But when he was a little kid, Five Nights at Freddy's came out when he was really young, and then Five Nights at Freddy's blew up in popularity. So it's really interesting. Like for him, Five Nights at Freddy's was this like big thing for his childhood. You know, that was like a major part of his childhood. Like for me, when I was his age, it was like Mario, but for him, it was like Mario and Five Nights at Freddy's is on like the same level as Mario. And I'm like, man, I'm old. But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's was definitely, even though it was a viral horror game, of which there were many of its kind, Five Nights at Freddy's was definitely special in the sense that it maintained cultural relevance. Like it was a phenomenon. Like that like we're never gonna see a Baldi's Basics movie. We did get a Slenderman movie. Slenderman is way more that's more what, like late 90s, early 2000s. I don't know when Slenderman was trending, maybe 2000s. Rhinoceros is looking good. Thank you so much. Well, thank you for being here. Yeah, we talk about all kinds of nerdy things here. Thanks for dropping in. Don't forget to leave a like, everyone. Gotta keep crushing that YouTube algorithm. This looks so tough. And once again, for the sea bear, after I'm done filming the sea bear, he will have a permanent head and a permanent arm. It's kind of like what I'm doing with, it's like what I did with the totem pole from Jasper and the Jam, the claymation. So for those of you guys who have been around that long, the totem pole from that remake that I made of Jasper and a Jam back in 2017. How the time flies. After I was done filming that project, I converted the totem pole into a statue. Because the whole thing was sculpted with Super Sculpey, just like this. Painted and everything. No way was I throwing that out. I'll probably get some more lights that I can mount up here at some point. Oh, look how terrifying that is. Ming-Na Wen has a YouTube channel? Really? Huh. Good for her. There was a... I heard that after... What the heck was it? So, for Chicken Run 2, the original voice actress for Ginger, she didn't reprise her role, and the reason that she didn't was because I guess they said that she sounded too old or something. So what she did was she recorded a YouTube video where she was saying the exact same lines from the original Chicken Run back to back. Like she would play the lines from like the scenes from the original Chicken Run, then she would say the lines again, And she sounded like really, really good. But yeah, she was deeply upset, I think, that she wasn't able to reprise her role. I don't blame her. Kipper the dog. I remember seeing like a little clip of Kipper when I was a kid, and he talked, and I'm like, oh, that's what he sounds like. I was surprised. Ugh. I'm looking at Ratfink photos for before I start to work on the teeth. I have a oh, there's a SpongeBob parody. I have a friend that would love this Ratfink dude. Right. It's now or never. When in the kitchen. Oh, nice. Oh, good for her. Yeah, Mulan is easily my favorite of all the Disney princesses. I just remember like she's a normal girl. Like she's not even a princess. Like she's a normal girl, and she's so likable in the original. I have not seen the live action remake, nor will I ever. Like come on. The the 1998 Mulan is just perfect. It knows what it wants to do and it just does it. I talked about Mulan recently, but yeah, just such a solid film. I look back on like these movies that like these Disney animated movies I grew up with, perfect runtime. I don't know what they're thinking. Like all these live action remakes are like 2 hours long, sometimes more. It's like, come on. The original films were barely over an hour. Perfect runtime. The live action Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. I don't. Okay, so I have kind of a weird story about it. I don't think I've seen the original Alvin and the Chipmunks live action movie, like the first one, but they made so many sequels, and I'll never forget. There's the most random thing. Me and my mom and my sister, like, we just felt like going to the movies one day. So we went to go see Chipwrecked. I do not know which installment Chipwrecked is. Maybe you could enlighten me. But I remember enjoying it. I don't think I'd enjoy it now, but unless those Alvin and the Chipmunks movies are secretly brilliant, but yeah, I remember being a kid and they were like really they were booming. The third one, yeah, there's this weird trend of like take popular kids characters and put them into a city and have them interact with celebrities and like there you go, you have a movie. Yeah, when Sponge Out of Water came out, I was concerned. I was like, are they gonna do this but with SpongeBob or do that but with SpongeBob? Like, ugh. Fortunately, they didn't do that, but they ended up doing something just equally as blech. A really good example of of a movie like you would think would be really bad or really cheesy, but is secretly brilliant is Enchanted from 2007. Anyone remember Enchanted? We must have talked about it in stream once, but when Disney Plus first debuted, like when the platform just came out, Enchanted wasn't on it for some reason. I don't know why. But then eventually they added it, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll give this a watch. I liked it as a kid. Pay my respects. But I was astonished. I was like, this movie's actually like really, really good. I need to see the Goofy movie. I've heard things about the Goofy movies. I heard that they're quite brilliant. Yeah, Sponge out of water. Yeah, like it's not even like there's like story that really needs to happen during the out of water phase. It's like they're just going out of water for dumb spectacle, right? Because it's a gimmick. Yeah, there was it was weird when Sponge Out of Water came out. Like that was the first SpongeBob movie since the original SpongeBob movie. It was the first SpongeBob movie to come out that I was having memory of, and it was crazy like going to the theaters to see SpongeBob. I don't think anyone really knew what to expect. Yeah, the Smurfs movies were like huge. Live action Scooby Doo movies. I mean, I would say that like from what I recall, the what is it, 2002 Scooby Doo movie, even that had more going for it. There was also, I guess, a Rocky and Bullwinkle movie, but I never watched Rocky and Bullwinkle. A live action movie about Team Rocket. Yeah, Team Rocket was so great. So hilariously incompetent at their jobs. There were like there's also that anti Team Rocket. They work for the same team, but you have like the woman with like dirty blonde hair and the guy with green hair. They're like the anti Jesse and James, and they have like Eradicate, and then when they encounter Jesse and James, they're like, "You're saying our theme wrong." And then I remember thinking like, "Oh yeah, Jesse and James theme that they say at the in every episode. It's like it's kind of heroic." Oh, you used to enjoy Sponge Out of Water more than the original? Did like was that the first SpongeBob movie that you saw, or did it come out like when you were younger? Like because like I have to remind myself that it must have been someone's introduction to SpongeBob, right? Oh, Rocky and Bullwinkle movie's good. Yeah, I've never seen anything Rocky and Bullwinkle. That was I don't know if it was before my time or if I didn't have the right means to see it. But as you all know, for me it was VHS tapes and DVDs. And you could go to like a kid store or like a secondhand kid store or something like that. We had one near us, and you could get so many of those VHS tapes for really cheap, and they were great. I never wanted to stop using VHS. I just remember around the time I stopped using VHS, it was because the player that we had, it started doing this thing where very, very frequently it would unravel the tape in the in the cassettes. And it just kept happening and kept happening, and I'm like, okay, I guess this isn't reliable anymore. That was about the point I stopped using VHS. And then streaming was getting bigger. I was watching tons of Netflix on my Nintendo Wii. Do I think Jesse and James would date? Probably not. Like they weren't dating in the cartoon, so I don't know why they would make them have like a romantic connection. There was an episode where what like James I guess has like a rich family and they were trying to marry him off or something and Jesse rescues him and there was like a moment at the end of that episode where I was a kid and I'm like, "Wait, are they going to get together?" But then they didn't. But no, I thought they were so funny. I'll never forget discovering like the earlier episodes of the Pokemon anime, and James had like a different voice actor. His voice sounded different. It was like higher and more boyish. But I'm so glad they recast him because the guy that did James' voice was so brilliant. It was so goofy. the the James kicking the Magikarp into the sea, and then the Magikarp turns into Gyarados, and the Gyarados is so pissed at everyone, and everyone's terrified, and then James just leans forward and he's like, "I'm James, your master. Obey me." And Jesse's like, "It's too late for that. You can't do that." I'm definitely gonna revisit that show at some point, like in the near future, because that is just such a for me, it's such a feel good show. That show got me through a lot of times. I got the Pokemon TV app for my my iPod 4 that was a hand me down from my older sister. I used to watch it when I was like 12. Rhinoceros is looking really good. We just have to clean up the teeth a bit in the eye. Live action Yogi Bear movie. I remember seeing the trailers for that in in theaters and I'm like, "Ah, I've never watched Yogi Bear." Oh boy. Remember when Paddington was coming out and I'm like, "What's a Paddington?" Teeth are looking pretty good. Yeah, the most like I saw a smidgen of Hanna-Barbera cartoons when I was like 5 years old at my relative's house on Boomerang, because Boomerang would always be on. But that was after they moved, that was pretty much it. I never saw Boomerang again. I remember the logo for it though. I remember that shade of blue. Looks just like the drawing. Hmm? Have I seen Space Jam? Nah, so when I was a kid, I watched Looney Tunes because my remember my grandparents had this big collection box with like hours and hours of Looney Tunes cartoons from like so many different generations. I love that. But my Looney Tunes movie when I was a kid was Looney Tunes Back in Action. Remember my cousins had Space Jam and they played it once, but I never gave it a proper watch. Then they made a Space Jam 2 or something. But wasn't the reason that Space Jam was like such a big deal at the time was because that was like the first like Looney Tunes movie? Wasn't that it? Also, I've just never cared even the slightest bit about basketball, let alone sports, like ball games. I have to give Looney Tunes Back in Action a rewatch. Isn't the guy that plays Dennis from Jurassic Park, isn't he in Space Jam? Wayne Knight, that's him. Yo, Wayne Knight was in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I recognized him. I was like, that's the guy. Dude, do you think Wayne Knight was disappointed that he like because Dennis died in the first Jurassic Park, like he couldn't be brought back for some stupid reason in the Jurassic World movies? I would have loved to see like a scene in Jurassic World Dominion where they're like somehow Dennis Nedry returned and Dennis Nedry is becomes the villain of Jurassic World Dominion rather than that like Tim Cook, Steve Jobs wannabe stupid. Oh, this is Dogson from the first Jurassic Park. Like, it's so bad, so bad, so bad. I guess I'll have to give Looney Tunes Back in Action and Space Jam a proper watch. Sea Rhinoceros is looking pretty complete, not gonna lie. Dude, it's been an hour and a half? Time has flown by. Time has absolutely flown by. I'm looking at this sea rhinoceros like he's looking kind of complete right now, and I don't feel like I've been going very long. Going for an hour and a half. Shout out to an hour and a half, everyone. I mean, I don't know how perfect I want to make the teeth. I don't think I really need to. But I think we've just about done it. I feel like texturing the rest of his skin is just overkill. Not gonna lie. Extraordinary. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I'm pleased. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's like making the thing is it's one it's something else entirely, but I think like the most gratifying moment is just seeing it all come to life on on camera. You see it move, you see the lights, the shadows, the composition. That's like when it all comes together. But yeah, this will be a awesome relic for someone to own one day. Just a little bit of dealing here, detailing. I think we'll be okay. I think we're wrapping up here on the sea rhinoceros. Feel like the might be a bit overkill adding texture to the rest of his skin. I think I will keep the sea rhinoceros's skin smooth, so he kind of looks like a shark or a dolphin. Yo, you're missing the filming. I'm missing the filming too. This is great and all, but like and it adds variety to these streams. But getting back to filming, I'm looking forward to that. The shutter of the camera, the clicking, the sound the program makes. But yeah. So, what do you guys think? I'll bake this tonight. It's gorgeous. And keep in mind, we're going to have a painting stream. I think I'm gonna wait till after stream to bake this because I don't know if the kitchen's in use. And I don't like to leave my stuff in the oven. Even so, if I were to bake it now, I'm gonna have to run downstairs again and turn it off. But there are other things that need to be done. So maybe we'll work on the sea bear's head and mouth. His teeth look awesome. And you guys were here. They said we couldn't do it. If I ever get like super bored, don't know what to do for a stream sometime, I'll remake Squid Bob tentacle pants. Those would make great pieces. I don't know if I'd want to sell them though. Because like I these are marketed as like film props. But if I were to make some of those Squid Bob tentacle pants creatures in this format, like a painted sculpture, it wouldn't be a film prop technically. It would just be a sculpture, like an original piece. I feel like I'd have to do it for my own enjoyment. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else to do to this. I think he's pretty much done. Certainly good enough. And these features will be animatable. I'll put some clay onto his like face to animate his nostrils and his lips, and I'll have him salivate. Are you going to see me film the sea bear and sea rhinoceros in different live streams, or are you going to do that off camera? No, I'm going to do the filming on stream. There are times where I'm like, oh shoot, I could do some filming now, but I because this is like a group effort, I tend to try and save the production work for my streams these days. Plus, it's not like I have nothing else to do otherwise. These streams like motivate me to want to like be like, all right, here's our game plan for tonight. But yeah, I think we've done it for the sea rhinoceros. This looks beautiful. Hold on, I'm gonna pop a photograph. I promise I'll put lights up at some point. I think this should do it. And there you have it. So I'm going to put this guy... Oh, wait, hold on a second. We still have some of this left. I'm going to put this guy over off to the side for now. I'm going to put away the Super Sculpey because we don't need it anymore. While my hands are covered in Super Sculpey, though, I am going to condition the rest of this just before we get to work on the Sea Bear. I'm going to stop the clock for a second. So Sea Bear, body. There's only a little bit left. Oh, how many months? 3 months and Wildwood comes out. Time's gonna fly. Let's set us back to Sea Bear. Here it goes. Lame. Oh well, casualty. Fell in the fell in the trash. Yeah, absolutely. No, I wish I could have done this with you guys for the making of Survival of the Idiots. Like that would have been awesome. But it wasn't the time yet, you know? I distinctly remember like filming late at night Sandy Cheeks, hibernation Sandy on the bed, like talking in her sleep. I remember filming those shots where she's like talking about Dirty Dan and running off to fire calls because I had my pager because I was in the fire department at the time. So I I was running off to do fire calls while that during the making of that episode. Oh, those were the days. Those were the days. It was a time. But fortunately, that's not happening anymore. Yeah, that was like during the peak of the pandemic, or just coming out of the peak. I think the peak was the January. Yeah, and Frankendoodle turned out to be like a huge success. That I think that's the most viewed video on my channel. It'll likely hit 10 million views someday. It's the better part of 10 million views. That's crazy. Yeah, like I was excited to make it because it was Doodle Bob. This is a classic episode. But I didn't think it would take off that much. It was a weird time. The just YouTube, people online, people indoors. Like I'm trying to think, Survival of the Idiots. Was that like the first time I made an episode of BrickBob Films where it was like really explicitly like a hybrid of different animation styles? Thank you, man. Yeah, no, the Survival of the Idiots remake is like probably one of my all-time favorite episodes of BrickBob Films. I just love that episode so much. It's so brilliant. It's so funny. And the remake was like everything that I could have hoped for and more. But I think that must have been maybe it was the first episode where it was really a big hybrid of claymation. Oh, actually, well, there was Pressure, which I made in 2019, which had that clay animation sequence, but it didn't have like a detailed puppet like Hibernation Sandy. That was a statement. Yeah, Survival of the Idiots, that's just like one of those perfect episodes of SpongeBob where it was just it was so ripe to remake for the channel because one, the episode writing is just amazing. It's a really funny premise. So funny and it just works really well. But there was so much opportunity and potential for putting a new spin on it and doing new stuff with the animation. And I just went for it. And to this day, it's one of my favorite episodes, if not my favorite. I am hoping to top it one day, maybe. But keep in mind that you don't automatically top a project by making something that's even bigger or more complicated. It's also the experience of working on it. And I had a great experience working on that project. The the gorilla from I Had an Accident was that I think that was before. Because after Survival of the Idiots, I can't remember what else I made that year. There was because that came out in May, early May. So I can't remember what else there was. All right, this is going to go in the closet. I'm gonna have to wash my hands before working with the new clay. Yeah. All right. I'll be right back. Suppose I'll put on the graphic. I'm not going to go for long. I just have to wash my hands. But I'll be back. All right, and we are back. Whew. Where'd the chat go? Blow it up, everybody. Weird. Oh well. Oh boy. Oh, the membership goal reset. No. It keeps resetting. I don't know what to do. We're at 4. We have crushed the membership goal for the month. Let's have a look. So for the sea bear, I'm trying to think. When I was working on his original body before I updated it, we kind of had this going for the head. Come on. It wants to look at my face. Whatever, you get the idea. So what I did for the sea bear was I gave him a little mount for his head, just so he can get some more organic head movement in there. We have a wire for the arm. And the idea is I'm just going to animate him camera pointing straight down. He'll be on the glass, and I'll be able to just kind of like move him, you know? It moves nice and smooth. It's going to be good. Way, way easier than trying to do it on the set. Because if I did have him on the set, I'm going to have him rigged up by some kind of a rig. Either that, or I would have had to redesign the sea bear entirely to be on all fours. And I didn't want to do that. So, let's give this guy a permanent head, I think is what has to happen. Putting that clock back on. Let's go. His arms will be green. I'm trying to think of something a bit more durable to have at the base, at the wire, because the Van Aken plastilina, the clay that I normally use, it's very soft, easy to move, but I don't like using it as like a foundation for something like this because it could just, the head could fall off completely, and we don't want that. Hmm. Perhaps I'll get some wax clay? He'll do that. Yeah, using epoxy putty. Is that it? Epoxy sculpt? It's gonna take too long to cure, you know? Chat's still working. Good. Yeah, the visually, we're gonna have a bit more freedom for the color of the sea bear and the sea rhinoceros with the paint. I'm sure someday I'll airbrush something, but I don't have the setup to do that on stream currently. And I don't even have my air compressor here, so. Anyway, let's take a look. For anyone who hasn't seen yet, here's our sea rhinoceros. Hold on a second. It's pretty sick, not gonna lie. This puppet that I made using puppet putty that I've been meaning to disassemble. So you know what? I'm just going to take some of the black clay off of his legs. I was going to use this guy for a demo reel in 2025. Man, how the time flies. That's when I was working on an application to Leica Studios, and I wanted to use like a wire clay animation puppet, a ball and socket armature, and I'm trying to think what the other thing was. I wanted to have like variety. I used a Sticky Bones puppet, Sticky Bones armature, but then the ball and socket armature ended up looking so good. I just did the rest of my shots using the ball and socket armature, which is what you're going to be working at. Like when you're working at a studio, you're likely going to be using ball and socket armatures anyway. It's industry standard. So yeah, I decided to ditch this guy. He's cool though, but just something that better suited the demo reel came along. I'm gonna plug this in. Too many wires. Too many wires. All right, we're at 2 hours and 9 minutes. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I really wanted to have the sea bear's head like physically be a part of the puppet because I thought I could get more. Like I wanted it to be attached to the body because I really didn't want to like animate the head on a separate layer, do more editing. I didn't want it to. I was worried it would come out looking floaty. Like I want to have do as much on camera as possible. But anyway, like considering this is a hard puppet, like I want to, I wouldn't sell this without a head, right? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Oh, we've talked about Hoodwinked in stream before. Still have to see it. Haven't seen it yet. All right, so you get the idea. Shoot, I don't have clay. Like I don't have the green puppet putty. Hmm. Confounded. I thought it would be a brilliant idea to order a bunch of blue and a bunch of orange, and then I just never used it. Yeah, I had like an idea for like a cartoon that would have needed a lot of blue and orange, but ended up not making it. Got sidetracked. All right, gotta lock in. I'm gonna do something I've never done before. I'm gonna take this floral tape and just kind of try wrapping the clay because this puppet putty is good stuff and I would like to preserve it. We're gonna try. Oh wait, I after the previous stream, I added in an emoji for hibernation, Sandy. Let's see how it looks. The more members we get, the more like emojis, like custom emojis I can make. There it is. Deal with it. Yeah, by popular demand. Someone recommended it. So after yesterday's stream, I added it in. So the more members we get, the more emojis I can add. I don't know what the limit is. All right. This head I'm pretty much gonna dismantle. Oh, it's so soft compared to the Super Sculpey. I'm gonna just dismantle it and just start wrapping it. Oh, I don't think I have my masking tape here. Do I should have my masking tape here. It's somewhere else. Oh boy. We'll make do. The floral tape's not going to cut it. Yeah, I think it was you. Well, there you go. You made it happen. Hibernation, Sandy, kind of looks like the sea bear. You got Aaron Blaze making Snow Bear. Well, here's a new one for you. Lorenzo Volpentesta making Sea Bear. No one ever saw it coming. Little Pinhead Patrick. That'd be pretty good. Where did I put the rest of the brown clay? Uh, oh, I think it's down there. Why did I put it there? Pulling up some reference material. Gonna give him these big bear ears. How many of you guys have seen a bear in real life? Because recently I had some bear encounters. Very recently. But yeah, I was astonished. Like, it stood up. I saw a bear and it stood up and it had like the biggest, roundest ears you've ever seen. SpongeBob Mystery Train? What season was that from? I feel like I've heard about that. Season 7? I don't know if I've seen Mystery Train. It like sounds kind of familiar, but yeah, SpongeBob doesn't really do genre changes much, does it? I remember when Family Guy did that Clue episode, it was like a special something. I think I saw it was like the 200th anniversary like special. I think Seth MacFarlane said that he that was like his favorite episode. But yeah, it was literally just Clue. So like yeah, it had a plot, but it was still like just Clue. The Great Patty Caper. Isn't that the one with the someone takes a secret formula like before it's even dropped off? Turns out to be Mr. Krabs. He like lets himself get caught in like the most dumb, obvious way possible. That episode's like all right, but it's also just like, gosh, that's Mr. Krabs is so horrible in that episode. That's like one of those. That's like something that Mr. Strickland from King of the Hill would do to Hank. And in fact, he did do it. Like in King of the Hill, there's an episode where the girl like dies, and Mr. Strickland's trying to pin the whole thing on Hank, his most trusted employee. That's a great. That was a two-parter. Just finished watching the new season of King of the Hill. A lot of people are saying that it's like it feels like the second half of season 14. Oh, so pissed off that you we only got 10 episodes for season 14 and now 10 episodes for season 15. Like, you're gonna make me wait a whole year? Like, come on. Oh well, it's better than nothing. You gotta take what you can get. As long as they're making more seasons and stuff, I guess it's not too bad. But like, no, animation takes a while, but like, come on. Ah, okay, yeah, that's what I was reading online earlier, where it's like it's technically one season, but it was split because of I don't know, politics, whatever, like streaming politics. I get it. Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's like they were recorded at the same time. They were written and recorded like at the same time or something like that. But still, it's like you have to wait an extra year to get like a full like the experience of a full season. Because I did feel like, yeah, this a lot of this stuff feels like it should have been in season 14, you know? Like I'm still happy to be getting new King of the Hill episodes, but like I'm just I'm like I feel like we should have gotten some of this like sooner. Granted, I've only been a King of the Hill fan since 2023. That was when I first watched it. I think it was like King of the Hill was one of those shows where like I tried watching it because I heard, you know, they were making episodes of it throughout my childhood and then they stopped one day and I always heard about it and seeing Hank Hill's face, that iconic look. But I never watched it because I got into Family Guy and never watched it when it was on Netflix. It just I passed by it. And then I tried watching it in 2023. I don't exactly remember what inspired me to check it out, but yeah, I tried watching it and I was like, okay, this is good, but it's not that good. So I stopped after a couple seasons, but then I heard someone say like, "Oh, that show's amazing." And I'm like, I guess I'll give it another shot. So I tried watching more of it and then I just got it was like I got hooked. It was like that. And I binged it all the way to the end. Such a good show. All right, so we're gonna have multiple eyes and mouths, obviously, but trying to see. Like this one looks pretty good. Trying to think if I should make eyes or mouths first. Yeah, Beavis and Butthead I discovered after King of the Hill. I think that was it like I think it was 2024 was when I first watched Beavis and Butthead because I remember growing up like I never saw the show never got recommended to me on like Netflix, like it wasn't on Netflix it was it wasn't anywhere where I watched my programming or my shows and TV. But the movie would always get recommended to me, Beavis and Butthead Do America. But I never watched Beavis and Butthead Do America because I felt like I needed to see the show first. And then one day, few months before I started working on the Beavis and Butthead clay animation, I once again I got recommended the Beavis and Butthead movie, and I'd still never seen the show, and I was just so curious, and I'm like, okay, screw it. It's been over 10 years. Let's just watch this movie and see what the fuss is about. And I ended up enjoying it. And then I discovered the show after. Oh, Jurassic Park, Dinosaur Battles, Scan Command. I remember hearing about Scan Command, but I never used it. I just played the game growing up. But yeah, I would oh so love to revisit Jurassic Park Dinosaur Battles. First video game I ever played. The first game I ever played in my life. That was an experience. Yeah, I my mom said that when I was a really small child, we were like out at a store and I saw the copy of Jurassic Park Dinosaur Battles, and I loved how like the box looked so cool to me, the little CD-ROM case. It looked so cool. I loved the cover art so much. I loved it so much. My mom said that I wouldn't leave the store without it, so she was like, it's just a couple dollars. So she got it for me just so I could like look at it. But then I ended up booting it up on my grandpa's PC. And yeah, that was the first video game I ever played before I was like playing Nintendo even. That was my introduction. And I haven't played it since childhood. And I've resisted the urge to look at like gameplay of it on YouTube because I want to savor the experience. Like I don't want to spoil myself. Like if I am to revisit, like I could easily just watch like a let's play of it. I could, but I'm holding out for the day that I will return to the first video game I ever played properly. Watch gameplays of SpongeBob games. I mean, there's a lot. So yeah, when I was a kid, there were SpongeBob games that I played, but like Obstacle Odyssey, which I reviewed on Clay Kremling. I wanted to review Obstacle Odyssey 2, but I Clay Kremling didn't run for that long. And there was what was it? SpongeBob's Boating Dash or Boating Derby. I got it for the Nintendo DS. You do all this racing and you bang into other cars. It's fun. There was the myriad of games that I played on the Nickelodeon website. Yo, welcome back. Yeah, we're done with the sea rhinoceros. He just has to be baked, which I'll do later. But now we're working on the eyes in the mouth for the sea bear. So, as you guys can see, sea bear has a head. Now he's going to need his mouths. But these mouths right here, I made these a few days ago. I think last week. Not a few days ago. It was last week. So I'm trying to see if I can like make them compatible with this new head. Oh, in Putt Putt, the Zuma King showed up. I forgot about that. Yeah, 'cause like I was building up to a Zuma's Revenge episode special. Oh man, Clay Kremling. What a weird era that was. Well, tooth fell. There it is. Had to go digging. I remember there was a period of time where I would fall asleep to watching speed runs of certain video games, like Mario 64 speed runs. I enjoyed falling asleep to because those oh my gosh, those speed runs of Mario 64 are crazy. But yeah, they I don't know, there's something like relaxing falling asleep to those. And I remember there was even a couple times when I fell asleep to speed runs of Zelda's Adventure for the from the Zelda CDI games, Philips CDI. Now I have to say, like I like love Zelda's Adventure. I've never played it because I have never owned a Philips CDI. I'm not even interested in playing it, but I remember that one of the guys like in the videos was talking about he was like, "Oh, I love this game. I love it." And I'm like, "Yeah, I love it too." And I found a website that had like photographs of all of the stop motion puppets that they used for Zelda's Adventure. I thought that was so cool. Like I love knowing that they're practical puppets. Guys get the idea? Super Mario 64 must be the most dissected game in history. Yeah, yeah. It's crazy the tech in that game. Super Mario 64, I think, is a pretty fascinating game just because, first of all, it's like really playing that game in 1996 must have been insane. Like that game like shouldn't even I would say it shouldn't even exist, but obviously it does exist, but like it shouldn't. Like it doesn't that game doesn't feel possible for the time. Very smart game. It's the most dissected game in history, and yet like there were all those rumors saying like, "Oh, you You can get, here's how you unlock Luigi. I must admit, I did not initially care for Super Mario 64 when I was younger, mainly because I sucked at it. But the better I got at it, the more I liked it. I'll never forget doing the backwards jump glitch up the stairs, the endless staircase, and feeling so proud of myself. I was like, yes, I don't have to get more stars, because that's how I was. Like, I didn't want to do all these collectathon things 100% the game. I just wanted to fight the boss and be done. Like, I don't want to have to spend hours of my life collecting stuff in a game. L is real. Yeah, I heard that term. Oh, early internet bullshit, fake misinformation. I remember like having Smash Bros. Brawl as a kid and being so sad after unlocking all the characters. I'm like, oh, I want to unlock more characters. There has to be more. You're telling me the last character you unlock is Wolf? Like what? And I every once in a while I would find YouTube videos being like, here's how you unlock Shadow the Hedgehog in Smash Bros. Brawl. And I was like, I would do all these YouTube videos trying to do it, and none of them would work. I didn't even care about Shadow the Hedgehog. I just wanted to unlock more characters. I remember there was this one video talking about like how to unlock Shadow in Smash Bros. And there was, gosh, like the person who uploaded it, they uploaded another video saying that it was fake and that they took their meds and that they're trying to do better and trying to recover from like I don't know, impulsively making fake how-to video game videos on the internet. And I remember being so confused when I read that. I was like, well then why did you leave the video up? Person must have been trolling. You looked up the ending of Morhun Jewel of Darkness. Yeah, I knew that there was nothing. I wasn't missing anything if I didn't beat Morhun Jewel of Darkness. Dude, Beetlebug 3 had like cutscenes. It had plot. Like I enjoyed that. But one of the reasons I never attached to Beetlebug 2 was because I just didn't care. Like there were no stakes. Yeah, it really goes to show how important story can be, like even to children, you know? Why am I getting invested in this thing? So it's like I'm a huge UB Funkies fan. It was a huge part of my childhood, and I watched an interview with one of the developers, and he was talking about how initially UB Funkies, for those of you who don't know, UB Funkies was like the granddaddy of like Toys to Life kind of game where you could buy figures that would come to life in the game, not like cards or anything or barcodes or something. Like these were toys to life from my childhood. And the guy the guy who worked on the games, he talked about how like yeah, when they first started, it was just like, oh, you would buy these USB drives and you would plug it in and you would get to play a game. But he said that when testing it with children, the children were way more invested in the characters, like the actual toys, like not just the games. It wasn't just about the games. They wanted to know about the story. So the developers for UB Funkies just kind of ran with it, and they made a world. They had heroes, they had villains, they had there was just like there was lore, there were individual tribes, there were clans, there was an adventure, and it was awesome. Yeah, UB Funkies I managed to rediscover last year. I got it downloaded on my computer. Yeah, UB Funkies was one of those things where it was such a great brand, it was such a great idea, had so much potential, and it just got so unlucky. It got axed way too soon. I think it was due to the recession that happened at the time. And yeah, it was just one of those things where it was like it was successful, but nah, not successful enough. We're trying to cut back, and Mattel just axed the entire thing. Yeah, UB Funkies is like something that I would want to make. Like if I had to make a video essay, UB Funkies is something that I would like want to make one about. I might have to remake this mouth. The best fake information is when someone said Patrick was gonna leave SpongeBob and Nickelodeon had to confirm. Yeah, yeah, it's just so dumb, so dumb. Why? Yeah, don't believe something just because it's on the internet. Get references, look up additional sources. Is it rage bait? Is it to drive engagement? Who knows? But just like, yeah, I'll never forget. Wait, did I talk about the skunk ape story from my youth? I think I did. I think I told the skunk ape story of when I was watching that countdown video and the guy talked about skunk ape. You'll have to excuse me if I talk about things like the if I tell the same story twice. on stream. I can't possibly keep a mental log of everything that I've talked about and or not on stream. Did I not talk about the skunk ape story? Dude, putt putt travels through time. I knew a girl that had like putt putt saves the zoo or something. I never played that. I only had putt putt travels through time, but putt putt travels through time was like a legit like great. That was a really magical game. That was a great game for kids. Yeah, excuse me if I've told the story before, but I'm just gonna tell it again. So when I was, I'm trying to think how old I was. It must have been like a teenager or something like that. I was subscribed to a lot of like countdown channels on YouTube, and because I don't know if countdown channels are still really a thing. I'm sure there's definitely like the nature of countdown channels will never die. The the ingredients for what makes a countdown channel successful and that gets people to subscribe, those like primal things will never go away. But when I was a kid, when I was younger, I was subscribed to a lot of countdown channels because I didn't have I just it's just it's like, oh, it's just content farming talking about stuff that you didn't make. Countdown channels just suck. I'm sorry, but I'm sure there's some great ones out there, but not just like countdown channels. It's just like talk about a bunch of stuff that you didn't make. And I'll never forget, like, one day I looked at my YouTube subscriptions. Like, I was like, huh, I wonder what I'm subscribed to. I look at my whole list and I'm just seeing so many countdown channels. I'm just like, ugh, is this what I'm watching on YouTube? Like, there's so many more interesting things that you could be watching on YouTube. And I was like, oh, I gotta change my tastes a bit, upgrade a bit. So I unsubscribed to all of them, but I'll never forget. I had like this moment a few years ago where I had a memory of like I think I was sitting in this room. I was watching a countdown channel. I think it was like Danger Dolan or something. And at one point in the video, I don't remember what it was about, what the countdown was, but it was probably like creepy photographs. You don't know if they're real. And one of one of the I just have to show you this image. You guys have definitely seen this photo. It's a famous like bullshit internet nothing photo. I just it I need this picture to illustrate my point. I'm gonna stop the clock because I'm about to go on a rant. This is so stupid. Just looking at this is already just so stupid. Oh yeah, terrified right now. Oh yeah. Wait, 314 by 475. Can we not get a higher resolution photo? It's probably it's very telling of what we're dealing with here. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna pull it up. All right, get ready for a little jump scare, everybody. Wait, is that attached to anything? No. God. Okay, here it is. Oh, sorry, our screen's a little bit funky. Funky monkey. All right, you guys see this bullshit? Look at this. Oh, the picture's like distorted. This is what I'm trying to show you guys. You guys see this? This malarkey? So, in this video made, oh my God, oh my God. I would like to scroll up. This is so stupid. What the heck happened? I'm making it worse. I just want to orient it to the screen. Oh God. Okay, can I zoom in? Can we get a zoom? All right. That I can't go up. Gosh, this is the worst. Oh, come on, you. All right. So look at this freaking picture. All right. So I was watching, it was in this room. I'm watching Danger Dolan just talk about stuff. Okay, everyone, this is Skunk Ape, all right? Say hi to Skunk Ape. So I'm sitting in my bedroom just watching YouTube, and Danger Dolan starts talking about, I'm just watching the countdown video, and then at one point, this picture comes up, and he talks about this picture. This is Skunk Ape. He's talking about the picture. Now, I don't think I have to tell you guys that this picture is clearly fake. It's clearly a Halloween decoration. Sorry to you Skunk Ape believers out there, wherever you are. It's clearly a fake picture. But I listened to this guy talk about this picture, about, ooh, Skunk Ape, ooh, for probably a good 45 to 50, 55, 60 seconds. This picture is so fake, and there is no additional information to substantiate the existence of something like Skunk Ape. This is just another name for Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Like, it's just... So it's just like, I had a moment a few months back, maybe last year at some point, where I got mad. I was like, I really just like, this is probably the moment where I realized that countdown channels were just wasting my time and just content farming. I was like, I legit, for 45 to 60 seconds, listen to some dude in his 20s talk about an ape that doesn't even exist. I am never going to get that time back. 45 to 50 seconds, I listened to some random dude on the internet talk about a fake picture of an ape that doesn't exist. It's only this photo, and there's like one other. Where is it? It's like, I guess it's a cryptid or something you would call it. Oh, look at that. It's got all the normal attributes of a fake photo. I've never been to, oh wow. Ooh. I haven't been to Florida since I was like 5 years old, but I feel like this is the kind of thing you would encounter in Florida. But still, just like this, it's clearly fake. It's just like, and I wasted uh, a small portion of my time listening to some dude on the internet talk about a fake picture of an ape. Don't be like me. Evaluate the content you're watching. If it's skunk ape material, just nah, you could do better. Just leave it. Upgrade. Watch videos about painting or playing music, or I don't know, even like Mario 64 speed runs. Like, learn how to do that. Like, just not skunk ape. Ooh, look at this picture. Ooh. And there's like endless pictures like this. Uh, oh, can you go away? Can you go away? All right. I heard that after the Backrooms movie came out and was a success, now like film production companies they're all trying to get their hands on on like similar stuff to the Backrooms. They're trying to get their hands on it and make their own. Help me out. What are some other like online stories like Jeff the Killer? That's not even the same genre. Yeah, I remember being a young kid on the internet being terrified by that Jeff the Killer photo. Like I legit couldn't look at that. You know, the Russian sleep experiment with that Halloween decoration photo. Don't these people have jobs? Look, whether they have jobs or not, it's none of my business. Just don't watch like don't watch a video of a guy talking about skunk ape for 45 to 60 seconds. Like I that's just that's highway robbery. Like could you like I could imagine if I posted like a YouTube video where I'm like, "Yo, look at this picture of skunk ape." Like what are you supposed to do with that? How is that going to benefit like your life? I've just robbed you of 45 to 50 seconds of your lifespan talking about a fake picture of an ape that's clearly like a Halloween decoration. Yeah, I was just like, I was so like, oh, I'm like so mad. Oh, I wasted my time listening to this guy talk about skunk ape. I don't know. I don't remember what it was in particular. Like I had this vivid memory of watching. I'm pretty sure it was Danger Dolan on my phone or computer, and just I remember that skunk ape picture coming up and just hearing him talk about skunk ape. Oh, the internet is a fun place. Hello? Oh man. Now I'm just thinking of other things I saw on the internet when I was a kid. Now look, I definitely saw some things on the internet that were like not appropriate for kids, but all things considered, I think I had like a relatively clean internet experience when I was a kid because when I got older, like I'll talk to kids my age. Granted, I don't know when we stop being kids exactly, but you know, kids in their mid 20s. I'll talk to people my age, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I saw insert something like really really horrible on the internet when I was a kid," and compared to like the things I hear other people saw on the internet when they were way too young to be seeing, like I definitely I look back and I'm like, Lorenzo, you did pretty good. You were safe, you were cautious. You didn't watch anything traumatizing like you know. A lot of the things that I would watch were like parodies of Mario. And it's so funny because I would watch these like very crude Mario parody animation things. And every once in a while, like Mario would talk, he would say like he would like swear or he would cuss. And looking back on it, it's like Mario's voice, like it wasn't even trying to sound like Mario's voice. It's like clearly some like 15-year-old kid in Australia, the same kid that was like editing the video, like doing the voice of Mario. So Mario starts talking and he's like, "Fuck you, Toad." And then I'm like, that's not what Mario sounds like. I I'll never forget. There was this parody movie trailer for a Mario Kart movie. It was live action, had live actors. It had like decent production value for the time. You would probably be able to find it if you looked it up. I don't feel like pulling it up on stream right now. I have clay on my hands, but yeah, I remember seeing this like trailer for this Mario Kart movie, and it had like this dramatic, like melodramatic plot where it was like Luigi died racing, and then Mario he has to start racing again to avenge him because of Wario or something like that. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was convinced that it was a real movie that was going to come out. I was convinced. I was so naive. You know what I also thought was real? I thought that in SpongeBob Party Pooper Pants, when Patchy the Pirate is showing the peg leg dance of happiness thing, there's a spoof where he's like, "Oh, it's only 29 wait, 39.95." And there's like a fake like order today infomercial screen. And I remember seeing that and being convinced that it was real. I had to ask my mom. I was like, "Wait, can I order this?" And she's like, "No, it's a joke." Shoot, there was one that Annoying Orange did that I was also convinced that it was real. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, SpongeBob cut Squidward's cable. Yeah, I remember thinking that the whole SpongeBob getting arrested for not inviting the police officers that he didn't know to his party is so dumb. I'm stupid. I should have closed the curtain earlier because I had this big light right here. So now I just have a bunch of insects looking at me. I have a screen too, but I now some of them have penetrated the screen. So now I have to wait for them to all perish before I can open my window. I detest insects. Everyone keeps mentioning the bonus endings to Shanghai. I I don't know how you would integrate them. That seems like the kind of like knowing me, if I hadn't been doing these streams, I would totally be like the kind of person to like remake Shanghai and then post it and everyone would be like, "Oh, you forgot to do this." I'm like, "What? I didn't even know about this." Like you forgot to do the alternate endings. I'm like, I didn't know there were alternate endings. Yeah, Shanghai, like that's such a brilliant episode. Like it it doesn't have any reason being as good as it is, but it just works. And I like the Patchy the Pirate skit at the beginning. Why am I struggling with this mouth so much? Okay, I think I have to do this. That's crazy. People could vote for the ending. Would I do a director's cameo again? I sure. I wouldn't rule it out. I feel like I could do it for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5 with the chief that shows up. I feel like that could be fun. It's such a random moment. The scene when they're all ordering pizza is so funny. Yeah, the bigger and more elaborate the mouth is, the it gets way harder to make. I remember talking about how difficult it was making Beavis's mouths for the Beavis and Butthead clay animation. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was a weird project. Yeah, that the Beavis and Butthead project, like it turned out good, but that was like something that I didn't really have good a very clear vision for when starting, and that just slowed everything down. I mean, I got it done. It's done. It exists forever. It can be enjoyed forever, but it also like I didn't really have like an audience for it. It was just like this passion project. Yeah, but even then, like immediately after finishing it, I was just like, all right, on to the next thing, and I don't find myself revisiting it that much. Making Thigh Master was fun though. Did I see Felix the Cat? Nah. Yeah, wait, when I appeared like in place of Patchy the Pirate. Yeah, I just made it me. That when I made the sponge who could fly, I had like I did like the little treasure hunt thing that he did. Gosh, I need to rewatch that. feel like I should put some like placeholder eyes just so I can see how it looks. Phineas and Ferb? Nah, I didn't watch Phineas and Ferb growing up. My friend did though. That was on Disney Channel, right? Yeah, I knew kids seem to really like Phineas and Ferb. I'm sure it's a good show. It would be fun to like remake some like two-parter episodes and have like me on like a live action set and like kind of making my own spin. Still, that would be like I think that would be too much production for a channel that just doesn't trying to think like BrickBob Films, it has an audience, but it's not like I feel like if I were to put a lot of resources into a project, I would want to do it into like something more original because obviously BrickBob Films is based on episodes of a show that I didn't create or write. Yeah, I watch Looney Tunes. Can't wait to bake that rhinoceros. It's gonna look so good. Whew. And we have a few mouths for him, just want to work on more. And we've been going for 3.5 hours, so certainly been going long enough. Just gonna push a little bit further. Wait, Lego Shrek? What? Do they look good? If I need some like a place to put eyebrows for the sea bear, maybe I'll enlarge his forehead a bit. Just so I can have like a designated eyebrow area. Yo, welcome to the stream. Am I gonna make the sea rhinoceros as well? We've already made it. Yeah, we were working on the sea rhinoceros for about an hour and a half into the stream, and he's all done. Insect. He's all done. He just has to be baked. I'm gonna bake him off stream. But yeah, he's over there. Did I see the Shrek 5 trailer? I watched it. I do not remember a thing about it. Not a single thing. I like I don't I just don't care. Like I'm apathetic to the idea of a new Shrek movie, you know? Like I'm not interested in a new Shrek movie. Okay, wait, hold on a second. This might yeah, Sea Bear is looking pretty good when I add the eyes on and such. I think I might make his forehead a bit bigger though. Oh, I'm gonna have to move his ears probably. Nah. Good 4th of July, yeah. I stayed home and did nothing. That's how I like it. Yeah, I from what I've seen, I don't hate I don't hate the animation for the new Shrek. I just don't feel anything towards it. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right. New Shrek. I just think I'm really concerned about the writing because there's a lot of examples of like the audience can forgive bad animation or not very good animation, but if the story isn't good or well told, then that's the killer, you know? Did I watch Invader Zim? No. I've heard great things about Invader Zim. Yeah, like there's I mean, a lot of animation is limited because of budgeting and because of deadlines. There's just so many things about the way that delivering an animated project works in film or television or whatever that sacrifices often have to be made. Like that's just the way it is. So I think it's really cool when like a lot of the decisions that are made in animation are centered around those constraints. If you just have all the money in the world and all the resources in the world, you like that's great if you have that, but that's not going to make your film better. That's how I feel when I watch like a lot of Disney or Pixar movies nowadays. Like Elio, that's like a perfect example of a film that costs so like an astronomical amount of money to make, and meanwhile you're just like this material is not worth $250 million. Like it's not. Like the whole time I'm watching Elio, I'm thinking like this feels like a really small young kids movie with a budget that's so unbelievably high. It's like it's just not, it's completely disproportionate. But yeah, so it's like right now, like I'm rewatching Invincible with my family, and like Invincible, people joke so much about how bad the animation is in that show. Personally, I don't think the animation is really bad as much as it's limited. It's clearly very, very limited animation, but personally, I don't really care because the storytelling gets you immersed. Like if you can get immersed in the storytelling, that can really go a long way. Your mind can fill in the blanks. And then you get like kind of cool stuff where it's like you'll see people reanimating or touching up scenes from Invincible using their own animation skills. Like, and I think that's pretty cool. It's like, oh, I could remake a scene from Invincible using my animation style. You know what I mean? Wait, are you guys reenacting a scene from Invader Zim? You admire my works? Well, thank you so much. Yeah, no, you've been here a while. I remember you. Good to have you back. Yeah, someone said like, "Oh, it's we'll probably be done making the camping episode by stream. What is it? 12? We're at stream 11 right now." And I was like, "Yeah, we would have probably if we weren't doing the clay animation effects, but the clay animation effects just take so much time. But people love it, you know? And it's something that I can do. So I figure why not? It's a journey anyway making the project. Yo, what's up, Hexatunes? Thanks for joining us. Glad you can make it. Wait, I'm gonna share with you our new emoji. Got hibernation Sandy here. Yeah, our sea rhinoceros is looking great. Yeah, the sea rhinoceros, I've finished sculpting it. We were working on it for about an hour and a half into the stream, and he's over there right now. He looks fantastic, and I'm gonna bake him tonight. And we'll probably have a dedicated like painting stream soon. Just like what we did with the Popeye clay animation. I'll probably touch up the ears a bit later. Yo, oh man, we're approaching 4 hours. Yo, yeah, the first hour and a half of the stream like flew by. The stream in general has actually flown by. Remember looking at the clock, I'm like, how long has it been? Oh my God, an hour and a half. Wait, did I turn the work clock back on? Oh, I didn't. Oh, freaking skunk ape messed me up. I don't believe it. Oh well. Yeah, whenever you're working on like mouths for a puppet, it's just like and just like making the eyes and mouths, all that stuff that has to move and needs to express, you're always working with a different foundation. So like the sea bear head, for example, is so different than like Beavis and Butthead, for instance. Squeaky chair. Mm. Sea bear's looking pretty sick. We got a ways to go though for making these little animation pieces. The mouths, the eyes. I'm going to show you what we have. Because we're coming up on 4 hours. I think I'm going to call it here because I am getting pretty tired. I can't believe how late it is. But I want to at least show you guys what we have so far. because this is looking pretty tough. Now picture how much cooler this is going to look when the body is painted. And wait till you see him move. I think this is a good stopping point, so I can sit with this for a bit. But for everyone, okay, before we end this though, I want to show you guys. Oh, I'm messing with this. I'm messing with that. But I want to show you guys the sea rhinoceros before we go. And I'll put some pictures on my Patreon. Like, look at this. Hold on a sec. I'll get my flashlight. Now tell me, is this not something magnificent? Oh, can't wait to bake it, yo. I can't wait. And I can't wait to bring the sea bear to life. The vision is... It's all coming together. I love this face. I love this mouth. Yeah, and then just testing out all these different mouths. When you can see like the change in expression just happen before your eyes. Even when you're not filming explicitly, it's still very fascinating. Just how seamless it all is. In the top down filming, you guys see how much like more comfortable this is? How easy this is going to be to animate. Head doesn't need a lot of movement. The arm some, but like this is, oh yeah. This is functional, you know? It has to look good and it has to be functional. But I think we've done it. It doesn't even feel like it's been 4 hours. Probably because, you know what it is? It's definitely this. I think it's because I ate before this stream. When I'm in the zone, after I've eaten, time just flies. When I'm hungry, time slows to a crawl. I think that was probably it. Yeah. Anyway, everyone, I'm going to call the stream here. Maybe I'll take a look at the sea bear's mouth, make a few off stream if I feel like it. But I think this is a good stopping point. This has been tremendous progress. It takes more time doing these clay animation effects, as you know, but it's a labor of love, and we will yet see it all come to life on film in the final episode. I don't know when the release date is going to be, but right now my main concern is making this film the absolute best that it can be. So with all of that said, thank you guys so much for joining. Consider becoming a channel member. Let's keep crushing those membership goals and crushing that algorithm. Remember to check out the Patreon. You can join for free. You can stay updated on all of my platforms. We're going to be back soon. We've still got a film to finish, and it's just going to keep ramping up from here. Can't wait to paint these guys soon. There is going to be a dedicated painting stream coming up for the sea bear's body as well as the sea rhinoceros. And other than that, once we have all the faces made, all the mouths and the eyes for the sea bear, then we're going to get to the filming. And once the filming for the sea bear and the sea rhinoceros is complete, then we'll film the rest of the Lego stuff. Pretty sure that's how it's going to go, but anyway, stay tuned for more. We're going to be back really soon. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm going to call it right here, and you all have a great night.